So, got this 8x10 shed here. Bought it from Home Depot. So far, so good. I can say there are some things that will make this easier, and I'm only this far and I can already tell. One is I'm really glad that I have a level surface to work on, because it kind of depends. This is assuming you have a level surface. Things will not line up if you don't have a level surface. It would be hard, even if dirt or something like that that's able to, it's not that firm of a foundation. Would probably be pretty hard to build this on, but it would probably be doable on dirt. But I'd recommend building a platform. You can kind of see how this works. Comes with these, and they basically pop through that. They just go through there, and then they screw into this floor that comes with it. That's pretty easy. These are pretty hard to get in. So far they've been pretty hard. I end up having to, when I put in the second piece, put it in at like too far of an angle, come over the edge a little bit, and that helps. I'm so far doing this by myself. It would be a lot easier with another person. I think the only reason I can do it by myself, I'm 6'6", and I can actually reach around this backside here and press in while I'm pushing this in, because these kind of interlock, and they don't want to stay. This wall doesn't want to stay close enough for this to pop in. It is doable, but that was the trick I figured out, was to bend, to not put those in until these are in. There's two of them for this corner piece. Just bend it on a little bit too far. While you put those in and then put the floor pieces in, that helps a little bit. I would definitely, you're probably able to do this on there's a little bit of a breeze. With two people, with one person you couldn't do it. You can just see right now, it's not strong. The walls are just sitting there on those two plastic bolts that they give you. Starting with that first panel, all that was holding it was those two pieces on those two screws on the bottom. So a little bit of wind would make it hard. It would make it a lot harder to do. Another thing I noticed that might save someone some time is they are fairly straightforward instructions so far. But one thing to realize is when you're looking for the right panel, the panels, you read what the arrow is saying when it's pointing up. Like this piece is RCR, but if you read this side of it, it's RCL. And just make sure that what you're doing is the one that's pointing up, and you should be fine. I thought I was putting in RCR, and I was, but I was putting it on upside down, so it was actually RCL, because these sections here aren't the same on the right and the left side. So depending on which direction you put it in, it will be right or it will be wrong. But anyway, so far, to show a little better, hopefully, what I'm talking about with this corner piece. They look like this. They basically go in with the one side of this has, I guess, smooth. The one side has some lines in it. That's the side that goes up. And these basically just hook in here. And so you can see at the bottom how I have this piece. It's not a right angle. It's inside the track a little bit. I don't think I'll actually be able to put this on when I'm recording, but I've been starting not on the side that has the lock. Basically you push this in until it gets underneath that, and it helps hold it in. But I start with this side. This side for some reason seems to be the hardest, and then and then it goes in a little bit easier with those two tricks, starting over on the opposite side from the lock and then bending this in a little bit from a little bit tighter than, walls are up, or at least this far. I don't have the doors. I've heard just from reading other reviews that the roof, it's kind of hard. I know before I do the roof, I think there's some these metal brackets that go inside here, and some other stuff before. I think you even put the roof on before the doors, possibly. I'll have to verify that because I don't actually know that. But anyway, this part was, besides those corners, was pretty easy. I would recommend having someone do it with you, but I did it by myself, so you probably could too. It'll take longer, but anyway, so far, yeah, that's where we're at. Pretty happy. So a little update here. Got these wall brackets in here. Pretty straightforward. I'll just do it in the order the instructions say, which they have you put in one bolt on these first, and then follow through the rest with the rest. And then you put in these side brackets, and then one extension. Nothing too crazy. Here is where I'm at with the roof, which is by far, of anything yet, stretching the one man is one person capable of doing this. I'm not sure, but so far it has actually worked. Yeah, I don't know if I have any real shortcuts or anything I would really watch out for. It's just following the instructions, but this is what it looks like.
Note, 2 people should be used to lift and place roof frame into position.
Suckers. This was not the hardest part. Lifting this up here by myself was easier than assembling this by myself. But anyway, so trying to get this I guess corner piece of the top of the wall on, and probably should have started, well, there isn't a good middle to start on. There isn't anything to snap in the middle, but I snapped this one in, and that piece isn't supposed to be bent like that. These holes are having a hard time lining up. I've even got that snapped in. We'll see if I can figure out why it's not lining up. It wasn't easy. I had to go on the outside, the inside, push stuff around, try to be a little bit gentle, because part of my problem was that one way or another, some of them got a little, the posts that hang down got a little bit bent, and so then it started working against me even worse. But it does fit. Yeah, I would be careful just starting off, trying to get that in there. I'll see if I can do better on the other side. I think, yeah, I don't know. I don't have a good strategy yet for. So this front piece here went in without any issue, and I think it's basically because this wall, since it doesn't have the doors here, the wall is able to be moved really easily. So it went in just fine. I was able to move the wall as I needed to make the holes match up. Yeah, my favorite piece again. Now I'm just screwing in these plastic bolts of a sort. I got them all working except for this one, and the holes weren't lining up. It's basically screwing this piece into, I think, this piece, and into this piece. So I ended up just sticking my finger down here, catching the inside of this, and then pulling, because this was basically too far out, and pulling, there isn't a lot to grab onto, so shove that up in there, put my other hand right up here, and I could feel the top of this, so I could pull this in enough that the hole would line up, and I could catch the thread. So, very close to down here. Getting the roof on. The way the roof works is it slides on. You start putting the middle on first, then you put the sides on. And you there's basically, see if I can show. There's some metal that it basically, and then the side on the plastic. Basically, the roof has a lip that comes around and catches right here, and you're supposed to start on you just start it and you slide it on up the roof, and then that bracket there, you can kind of see how that roof piece is slid on, and it goes in and it snaps up into the little skylight. Although one minor problem is, how do you get your roof on when your building is right next to the house if you have to slide it on? So you can see I got two on that side on already. The middle one, basically this piece, I was able to basically put it up from inside and then reach around here and just pull it down until it popped over that lip. And so the middle one actually was just pretty easy. I got it snapped in, and then I just had to slide it up just enough so that it would pop into the skylight. And then this one, since I had already put the centerpiece on, it had used enough of the space of this that I wasn't able to pop this in the same way, and also I couldn't reach up inside because I have something blocking. I would have reached around this way. So I basically had to slit. So I'm gonna do on this one, I had to slit a little bit. Basically I cut this in half so it still has a lip, but on enough that I can pop it over. Yeah, so I just ran a razor blade all the way along there, and just on one side. The other side I was able, since it's on the outside, be able to pop it in again. And I actually left, since I do have a little space, I popped the roof piece into the roof with just a little bit hanging over the side. And so I only cut half of it to like here on mine, and I left this full piece because basically I could snap it in with that cut in half, snap it in, and then the last little bit that I had room for I could slide up and I'd have a full lip on the bottom. That's the way I got around being right next to the home. I just cut this one. Just a razor blade cuts it fairly easily, but that's how much I cut off. Then I left, like I said, I left the bottom here, just the original size, and then I left this side the same because I can pop it on the outside of the house just fine. It's just that inside that won't be able to pop in. Here it is. You're supposed to slit it up, but I don't have room to do that, so very carefully, or actually I don't know if I can do it one-handed, but see, I'm able to pull it over just barely and work my way up like that on this outside edge. And it helps being tall, but yeah. And so the other one went in pretty easy. Okay, so pretty much done here. This is what we got. So I am missing some shutters. They weren't there. but that's what it looks like. And this is the little lock they have for the door. It kind of works. It would probably keep a small child out. Probably keep the window from opening it up. So what it looks like on the inside. The skylight is pretty nice touch. They haven't put the plugs in. Those things go covering up these holes. I don't know if I'm going to because I'm pretty sure it's mainly cosmetic. So yeah, problem stocks. Yeah, obviously not so happy I'm missing that. Gotta contact Home Depot where I bought this from and see what they can do. Another problem is that piece. I can see sky. So something's wrong there. This door locks here with these, which it's fairly stable. Yeah, stable from weather anyway. Not the most secure shed. Everything besides that hole does seem. I wasn't expecting a lot, but this is. Some of it is definitely better than I expected. Like, does have some metal support. These supports go down part way, so it's got a little more stabilization there. The metal would not walk on this roof, but it should hold. Believe it or not, to look at, I weigh about 240, and I did kind of put my weight on those beams from that ladder outside and try to look and see if there's something obvious, like a piece I was missing right there. But yeah, I don't know. But anyway, not too bad. Not too bad. Yeah, you can decide for yourself, of course, but this will work for me. This took me